One of the most satisfying things, I suppose, for me personally, is to watch people's lives going forward. To watch people stepping into life with a new sense of enthusiasm. All the babies coming, I think, is very exciting because we're watching people's lives take shape. You know, after being here 10 years, we've seen people go from teenagers to young adults to now young families, and seeing God's blessing. Well, when you see that blessing being outworked in lives, in families, in real homes, that is, for me, outstanding. That's the purposes of God being established in people's lives. I love watching people step up to new areas of influence. I love hearing about people doing well at work and opportunities are arising that they hadn't seen coming. I'm excited to hear, just like this week, hearing about a guy at his workplace leading someone to the Lord, actually made time to sit down with him and go through new Christian studies with him at work. I'm going, that is the business. When it's people stepping into their God call, when people are stepping into what God made them for, and with the confidence that they can do something and make a difference, that's what really excites me. God's grace is His empowering presence. It overlooks our weakness. I thank God that the cross means that we can approach God in our natural state. We don't have to get right to come to God. You know, come to me, all who are weary and heavily laden, and I will give you rest. No one will be cast out. There's that sense of total acceptance by God, and it's the acceptance by God that empowers us to have our lives changed. So it's not a sense of we change our life and we come to God, it's that we come to God and our lives change as an interaction of His indwelling power in our lives. I think grace is core to what we're about, and that's why we talk about Life Church, because life flows from God's grace. Death flows from judgment and rules and in or out, or successful or unsuccessful, whereas grace causes us to live in relationship, and relationship with God brings life. He's the author of life. He came that we could have life, and so that's why we're Life Church. I think empowering people is really key. It's a really core value. People are important. People have been placed here for a purpose, and our role as a church is to unlock the God purpose in people's lives, to unlock what God has placed people in our church for. I think that, you know, when we came here 10 years ago, we had just a bit of a ragtag group, and people look at our team now and see some really significant leaders. The danger of that is that we start to settle and lose that dynamic of empowering leaders and empowering people. We can become, well, it works now. And when we first got here, nothing worked because we didn't have anyone to make it work. Now it works. We have to reach again, and so we need to empower another level of leaders. We need to empower people for effectiveness in the marketplace. We need to be empowering people to be great husbands and great wives, great dads, great mothers. We need to be empowering people to be influential outside of church. So we need to stop seeing church ministry as just making the machine work, and to understand that church ministry is 24/7. It's who we are, where we are, and so we need to shift. And empowered people are not just people with principles, it's people who've had a dynamic encounter with the Spirit of God, who are carrying something from God. So when they walk into their workplace, the atmosphere changes because Jesus walked into the room. And that's really what I believe that's our next phase, our next, we're just really working out how we do this, but how do we unlock the move of God? How do we unlock a move of God through Life Church? And focusing, not focusing less on Sundays, but not just focusing on Sundays, focusing on our 7-day week Life Church. And that means workplace, it means families, it means raising kids, supernatural people living just naturally supernatural lives. I would love to see our influence in our community grow, more life flowing out of our church, and that will cause more people saying yes to Jesus. Really, it's all about people connecting their lives with Jesus. If we lose that as our key goal, then we've lost the plot. I believe the only reason the church exists is to see people say yes to Jesus and then to grow in Him. So I definitely want to see our room filled. I want to see our room filled a couple of times. I would like to see us plant another service out of here. I would like to see us increasing the influence of Jesus in Brisbane and around the world. I want to see unprecedented numbers of people saying yes to Jesus. I want an evangelistically potent group, not a spiritually intense group, but an evangelist where people come and they meet Jesus and their life changes. I went to Life Church and everything was different. I met a Life Church and my life changed. So that's what I'm excited about in the future. I'm excited about more and more people coming to know Jesus, coming to faith, coming to a relationship with Him, and then continuing to grow. So it's not just hands in the air, it's people connected with Jesus and His promise. That's what motivates me, and that's why we do this job.